spare time?
Man, that's a tough one. I listen to a lot of soundtracks, or sometimes I like listening to straight up guitar music. I'm just sick of pressing keys all day. Like, nah, I want to like listen to something a bit fun and has riffs. Lately I've been trying to relearn how to play saxophone, so I've been like listening to music that has saxophone in it. Like,
it's a really good saxophone player. It's called Manu Dibango.
Okay.
Check him out. Yeah. Really good.
I like recommendations. So
check him out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the personality behind Soft Riot, because sometimes I always say like music. You can talk about music all day, but also the fans want to know who is Soft Riot underneath those glasses. Now let's talk about that. Well,
I found these glasses in an old flat one, so they're actually the exact same prescription as my eyes. It's like so fake.
That's like, when was this?
It was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow, that's an exclusive right here. So let's talk about top five best films of all time. What sort of films? Top 5 best films.
Watch like more films than I listen to music. Last year I was really obsessed with a film called The Shout.
Okay.
Which is like, it's based on like a English horror short story. It takes place in Devon. It's about this guy who lives in Australia, comes back to England and casts a spell on his wife to like take her from her husband.
Wow.
And it's got the soundtracks by Genesis, like when they were still like kind of like doing like experimental stuff.
Wow.
It's just really simple story and it's told really well and it kind of flows.
I want to check that out. So that's number 1. What's number 2?
I think the first film I was really into was probably like George Lucas's first film, THX 138.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah. I kind of like the whiteness, like, and all the editing, like all the sort of like weird sort of cut and paste sort of style montage of it. Other films I'm really into, like I like Ken Russell quite a bit. Like obviously his most popular film is Tommy, but he did like other stuff like Mahler. He like did lots of biographies on like composers, and they're all kind of like treated with a sort of rock star treatment.
Of course, yeah.
Like Liszt, stuff like that. Other films I've been watching, that's a tough one. I kind of like watching really camp films at times. I had a really B movie because they're fun to laugh at. Like recently, I watched this one called The Bronx Warriors, and it's like it takes place in the Bronx and it's set in it's filmed in the 80s. It's one of these films that like in the future it's 1989. You're like, what the hell? It's already passed already, right? So there's like these gangs like in the Bronx that have taken it over, and there's this corporation from Manhattan trying to kick them out. And the soundtrack's really awesome. It's kind of like almost like rap funk kind of electro type stuff. The costumes are really ridiculous.
Number 5.
Number 5. I'm trying to think. Recently I watched this Barbarian Sound Studio. That's like a newer film.
Okay. It's
kind of really subtle, but it's what this guy works from England that goes to Italy to do the Foley sound on an Italian giallo like film, and it's like him going crazy and not knowing which is the movie and not knowing which is his real life. And there's lots of, it's kind of more psychological.
Right, if people want to find out more about it, listening to FeederRadio.com, they're like, do you know what? I'm liking what Soft Riot is about. I want to find out more about his music, where he's playing, how to keep in touch. Where do they go to?
Well, softriot.com. Although that site's down, but all the important links are there because I'm redoing it right now.
And is there a Twitter account? Is there
Facebook? Just Soft Riot UK, the Twitter account, and then Facebook.com/SoftRiot. That's where you can probably get the more information about the shows and whatnot. So.
And you're off to another radio station now, right? So
no, I'm there later this afternoon.
Oh, you're later this afternoon. That's good old mates at Resonance, right?
Yeah.
They've been going on for years. Yeah, good station out there, 106.8. All right, listen, Soft Riot, it's been a pleasure having you on the Breakfast Club show right here on FeederRadio.